I wouldn't wish that upon anybody in the world. Hello everybody, what's up? My name is Maddie and today I'm coming at you with another story time. This is about the first guy I was ever in love with. So before we get into the story time, I want to preface this story time along with any others that I do that are about guys, because my guy story times have been very highly requested and I love sharing my experiences with you guys. But I just want everybody to know that I am in no way bitter towards any of these guys. Or at least I'm not anymore. But I am one of those people that really believe that your experiences shape you in a really positive way. Whether they're good or bad experiences in the moment, they lead you to who you are and what you believe in, and they really teach you a lesson. And so I am actually very grateful for all of these boys. But yeah. I just want to preface that because I don't want people thinking that I go on here sharing these stories with a mean heart, because I really don't. These are just entertaining stories and I think they're fun to share with people, so yeah. Also, before we get started, if you guys love story times and you want to hear more, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and comment down below. All that fun jazz, because that's really the only indication I have if you guys are enjoying the content I'm putting out there. So make sure to help a girl out. Love you so much. And now we're gonna hop right into the story time. Woo! We're gonna start off by giving him a name. His name is going to be James. So every summer for about 3 years in a row, my family and James's cousin's family, so not James's family, but his cousins and my family, we would all go camping together. So we'd meet in the middle. And James would always tag along with his cousins. And so this happened ever since I was in 6th grade and every summer after that. So we would see each other about twice a year, every single year in the summers. And we'd go camping and we'd have all the fun in nature. And y'all, I had the biggest crush on this boy. Okay, it's not even funny. I loved him with all of my heart, my soul. He was a cutie, okay? In the summer between 7th and 8th grade, something switched, okay? Like, all of a sudden, he was super into me back. And I was like, oh my god, my life is amazing. This is complete. He likes me. We were going everywhere together. We would sneak away from our friends and go and hang out on our own. And it was nothing sketchy happened, okay? Throw that out of your mind. Get your mind out of the gutter. But it was like cute stuff. Like we'd go on little bike rides together and he would go and like get me ice cream at the little camping parlor. I don't know, they always had those. I don't know if you guys have ever been camping, but they'd always have a little camping store and they'd sell ice cream and candy, and you would sneak away from your parents and go buy treats and then come back and ask for more treats. That just me? Okay. That's why I was chubby as a kid. I'm just like the best, okay? That was my best camping experience ever in my life, and I was so happy after that until I realized the summer was over and I was not gonna see him again for a whole nother year, when I was pretty sure he liked me. So I did a gutsy thing for me because I'm not a girl to make the first move ever, and I asked his cousins for his home address. Okay, he lived about 2 hours away from me. I was in middle school, okay, so 2 hours is like a whole cross-country distance because you don't have cars and parents don't want to drive you for 2 hours. Like, it's not, no. So I knew I wasn't gonna see him again until next summer. So I got his home address, like a creepy stalker, and I sent him a letter. I did that, okay, I did that. I sent him a letter. And after a week, he responded, and y'all, I'm pretty sure I still have these letters. Should I find them? You remember this bad boy? Guess what's in here? Those letters. We wrote each other little love letters. Oh. And yes, basically we did this for a few months. From the time I wrote him after we saw each other camping in the summer till about December. Yeah, because it was in December at Christmas time when he got a phone. And so then he asked for my number via the little love letters, and we started texting. And we were texting every day for a while, and then he asked me out, and I was the happiest girl in the world because I was like, wow, the boy I've liked for so long, he asked me out, and everything's fine and dandy. Well, it won't be fine and dandy for so long. Okay, during this whole time frame, James's dad was very, very sick. He had cancer. And so I think that's a big thing that connected us the whole time, because for me, he was the first guy who I ever talked to about serious issues, if that makes sense. I had a lot of my own issues going on at home, but I didn't really talk to him about mine. He talked to me about all of his emotional baggage going on with his dad, and I kind of took out all of my issues onto helping him, if that makes sense. So in my mind, I was like his caretaker, and he was putting all of his issues on me, and I was loving it because I was like, wow, somebody needs me, somebody wants me to be their person, and it was just great. It wasn't great because his dad was dying and it was awful, but I was so happy that he was confiding in me about something like that, And so I think that's where a big part of my reliance on him during that time frame came from, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does. If it doesn't, and I'm stupid, you can tell me that, I don't care. But little 8th grade naive Maddie, that was what was going on in my head. And so it turned out that it was pretty serious. His dad ended up dying, and it was a really upsetting time for him. And I was trying to be the best girlfriend I could be, that you could possibly be, just through texting. I was always trying to comfort him, and I was always trying to give him words of encouragement, and I don't even know. I was just trying to be there for him. And it was yeah, it was not easy because I'd never gone through something like that. So I did not know how to put myself in his shoes, no matter how hard I tried, because I'm a very empathetic person, but you can't really, no matter how empathetic you are, you can't understand what someone is going through, especially to that degree if you've never experienced it yourself. So that was a very hard time for him. So as much as it hurt me in the end what happened, a lot of times I'm just I can't even be mad at him because of what he went through. That went on, and after 2 months of us texting and that happening, he gets a Facebook, and he posts a profile picture, and that's really his only action on Facebook. And that was typical for guys back then. Girls were all about it, and guys were like, oh, this is stupid, I'm only doing it because, my girlfriend wants me to. And so, I was always on his Facebook because I was always like, oh, when's he gonna update something? Oh, I want to see a status, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't think he knew if I would notice, but one day a girl commented on his profile picture, and she just said, mine, with a heart. And I was like, who dis? Huh? And I'm not a confrontational person, so I didn't know if I should say anything, because I trusted him. He's been talking to me about all this deep things, and we're supposed to be dating, so I didn't think anything was necessarily going on. I thought more that she was trying to flirt with him. But then one of my best friends, Maddie, she was like, heck no, girl, you gotta nip that in the butt right now. So I ended up texting him and asking him what was going on, and he was like, why are you even asking me about this? And I told him that my friend thought it was weird, and that I started thinking it was weird. And he literally said, well, who are you gonna believe, me or her? And she was one of my best friends at the time, so that should have been such a huge red flag. Girls, when a guy starts putting you in that position to choose over him or your best friend when you're accusing him of something, or not even accusing, I was asking him, that's a very big red flag. And I liked this boy for so long, And I did not want anything to go wrong. So I was just like, you're right, yep, nothing's wrong, love you. And so, you know, dropped it. But ever since that happened, he just like stopped talking to me as much. Like I would get maybe 3 texts a day. And remember, we didn't ever see each other in person. So going from like texting all the time to like 3 a day, and he would just be like, haha, hi, how are you? Okay, good night, you know? It was very weird, and I was always nervous that something was like happening and that he was gonna break up with me. So I was really trying to overcompensate and like try to help him out. And the only times he would really be invested in the conversation is if he was ranting to me about his feelings or if he was having a bad day. And on those days I ate it up because I was like, oh, he wants to talk to me again. Yes, like I'm there for you, I got you. Oh, whatever. A couple more months go by and I'm really nervous because we have a school dance coming up and I didn't want to go with any of the guys at my school. I wanted to go with my boyfriend. So I was like trying to work up the nerve to ask him to come to the dance with me, and I knew it was probably not going to happen, but I really wanted to ask him. And I woke up one morning and I go on Facebook and I saw that his relationship status hadn't been existent on his Facebook. And then all of a sudden it was in a relationship. And I got so excited because I was like, wow, he's telling the world about us. This is so exciting, blah, blah. And then I clicked underneath it because it said give more info. And then it said with Susan. Susan, that's not her real name, but I'm just saying it is. And that is the exact same girl who had commented on his profile picture earlier. I don't know how to describe to you like my feelings when that happened. I think I just kind of went numb. The only reaction I had was like my entire body shook the entire day. Like not even just like my hands, but my like insides were shaking. I was so hurt and mad and just like dumbfounded. I couldn't even talk. Like my friends kept asking me what's wrong and I was just like and I don't, like looking back, I don't know why I liked him so much because he never really like treated me amazingly, but I think it was just like my idea in my head. Like back then I thought we were gonna grow up together, I thought we were gonna get married. I was like, I loved this boy, but yeah, he had been like dating this other girl the entire time. And so when my friends found out, like because you know your friends find out, they went hardcore ham on him. And remember, they had never met him before, so he got an inbox flooded with hate messages from my friends. I didn't tell them to do this, by the way. Like my friends were just amazingly supportive, and they were all like cussing him out on Facebook, like yelling at him. They messaged the girl and were like, did you know he's been dating Maddie this entire time, blah blah blah. Turns out the girl knew. Like, what kind of person does that? I don't understand. And then I get messages from him like, oh, I'm so sorry, baby, like, can you forgive me, blah 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 blah. And I was just like, I forgive you, but we're not dating. That's where it ended, and I was legitimately heartbroken about this boy for years. Which is sad to say, but I had just invested so much in him and the idea of us that it took me a really long time to get over. And a couple months after that, him and Susan broke up, and he came crawling back to me, you know, apologizing and everything, and I was just like, no. And that summer I had to see him again, and that was also like so incredibly hard. And he didn't talk to me once. He didn't acknowledge the fact that I was there. He did. Like, why do people suck so badly sometimes? So I guess my point to the story is, well, at the time when it happened, I thought that it was all my fault. I thought he cheated on me because I wasn't supportive enough for him and that he needed someone prettier than me and smarter than me and someone who could take care of him the way I couldn't. No, like, girls and guys, like, goes for everybody. Both of you, whoever's watching, I don't care. If you are ever cheated on, it is not your fault, it is their fault. Something's messed up in their heads. They need to work on themselves. It has nothing to do with you, okay? So get that through your little minds, because you are great just the way you are. It is not your fault. A lot of people who are cheated on often think that it's something that they did wrong. And most of the times it is just that other person, they have something that they need to work on personally, and you can't be that for them. It's just that. It teaches you a lot about yourself. And when I did eventually get over it, which, you know, it helps you. It really does. Which is super weird to say, but actually grateful it happened. And I probably sound like a lunatic right now, so I'm going to stop. But yeah, that's the end of my story time about the time I got cheated on and the girlfriend knew. People are psychos. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story time, and if you did, don't forget, thumbs it up, comment down below, let me know. Okay. Bye guys.